Well, Smackdown started off in the most interesting way it possibly could have ever began with. Man, that was quite surprising. In my opinion, Smackdown turned out to be a good show. Oh, sorry about this, guys. The show began with a very crazy incident that happened. It seems like we're going to be getting another incident with the hacker. The hacker is going to be sticking his teeth into this little situation. The show began with Elias. Looked like he got ran over by someone. He got ran over, and it was by a rental car, and the police officers believed it was Jeff Hardy. So they went looking for Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was found, and Jeff Hardy looked like he got beat up as well. He looked like he got beat up, and Jeff Hardy was arrested for drinking and driving, drink driving. Jeff Hardy was trying to tell the officers. Now, I had to re-watch this segment again just to get more of an idea on what happened. And Jeff Hardy was saying that he wasn't drink driving. So, this segment clearly is for the hacker. This is a situation that the hacker is going to be looking into. Jeff Hardy, I believe he's innocent. That's kind of the storyline they're going with here. That someone's clearly taking advantage of Jeff Hardy's a real life storyline, real life personal stuff that he's done in his real life with drink driving. Now, I've heard some people say that this was a disrespectful thing or a tasteless thing to do because this has a lot to do with what Jeff Hardy's done in his personal life. I don't have a problem with this whatsoever. This builds off to what WWE... Like, Jeff Hardy has had so many situations in the past. WWE have gone into Jeff Hardy's personal life so many times before over his career. They have. They've gone over his real life so many times. Remember the whole stuff that he did with Matt Hardy in 2010? That was off Jeff Hardy's personal life. But so I don't have a problem with this at all. I don't have a problem with it. I think it plays off of Jeff Hardy's personal life greatly. And this whole storyline is going to be based off of who framed him. Who framed him, who is putting the blame on him for what happened to Elias. So I think Elias is just being used here as a way to try and find out who attacked him and who was the one behind the car crash, who was behind the car incident, who drove the car. I heard many people believe King Corbin could have done it. It could have made sense for it to be King Corbin. It could have made sense for it to be Corbin since he's had some issues with Elias. But I think it might be a little too predictable. I think that might have been too predictable. Someone believes it could have been Sheamus. Now, Sheamus does make sense. Sheamus does make sense because, he's currently in a feud with Jeff Hardy. But I don't think it's him either. It has to be someone who we haven't seen, or it's someone who we're not expecting. But I'm kind of more leaning towards it could be either Corbin or Sheamus. But then again, that's probably way too predictable. So I think this whole storyline is going to be another angle for the hacker to digest. This is going to be another angle for the hacker to look into. Maybe within the next week. Maybe next week the truth will be heard, or maybe in a couple of weeks the truth will be heard. So that's what I see happening with this whole Jeff Hardy segment. This is just another segment for the hacker sink his teeth into and to reveal the truth. Does it suck that does it kind of ruin the fun that it's Jeff Hardy though? Because Jeff Hardy is just, in my opinion, Jeff Hardy is just a nostalgia act. So I kind of think this kind of ruins the whole purpose of it, because they're trying to frame Jeff Hardy. They're trying to give him this comeback story that he's past what he's done and all that stuff. I think it would have been cool if they did it with someone else, but it is what it is, I guess. So then we come back, and everybody is wondering what happened. So then we have a 10-man battle royal. AJ Styles takes a bye because he's a heel. He takes a bye because he's a heel. So it'll be AJ Styles in the finals because he took the bye because he didn't want to wrestle. And the 10-man battle royal was to determine who would face Daniel Bryan. And Sheamus ended up winning the battle royal, which was something I kind of expected. Jey Uso was really close. It would have been really cool if they went with someone different, but, you know, they didn't want to give it to Jey Uso. So it'll be Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. So then we had Sonya Deville taking on the sassy Southern Belle, WWE Creative's favorite female, it seems like. She seems to be WWE Creative's favorite female because they're trying everybody. They are literally trying everybody to get Lacey Evans over. They tried Becky Lynch, it didn't work. Lacey didn't get over. They tried one time with Charlotte, didn't get her over. They tried Bayley, couldn't get her over. They tried Sasha, she couldn't get her over. And now they're trying Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville is the new heel on the rise, and they think putting Lacey Evans up against the new heel is going to get her over. WWE, Lacey Evans sucks! Jesus Christ! When are they going to learn? When are they going to learn that this woman sucks? I just don't get it. But the good news about all this is the only good news about this. The good news is Lacey Evans is not feuding with Sasha Banks anymore. We can all breathe a sigh of relief that Lacey Evans finally has a new rival. Well, I guess I don't really care at the end of the day. I don't really care for Lacey Evans. Not a big Daddy Deville fan either. So personally, these two can go at it as much as they want. I personally don't care. Daddy Deville can now be annoyed for the next 5 months. So this match ends in a double count out. Go figure. It seems like this feud will be going on for a bit longer. I guess this will be a Backlash match. We had Mandy and Otis. They had a bit of a weird segment. They took some time away and they had a little bit of a scuffle. Oh, not a scuffle. They were just sitting down somewhere. They were probably at a house. Mandy had a dream and Otis splashed her. It was a pretty weird segment, I'll tell you that. It was pretty entertaining, but weird at the same time. Then we had Moment of Bliss. Oh, good old Alexa. 4 moves of doom. Little Miss 4 moves of doom over here. Having a Moment of Bliss segment with The New Day. And out came Sasha and Bayley. This was a bit of a surprise, and Sasha Banks looking as stunning as ever with her new outfit, looking great. And Sasha and Bayley framing Alexa and Nikki for being the tag team champions. Threw some truth bombs at them that they are the reasons why the tag team titles exist. And then Sasha took off her t-shirt or her jumper, whatever it was. She took it off and then she threw it in Alexa's face. And then Bayley decides to throw her best friend under the bus once again. Now, the one thing I've noticed, and Sasha wasn't too pleased either. This is one of the things that I have noticed when it comes to Bayley throwing Sasha Banks under the bus. She did it with Lacey Evans, which Sasha didn't care because she was in a feud with her. Then she did it to her with Tamina, and Sasha looked scared. And now she's done it to her again with Alexa, and Sasha was angry. She was angry at Bayley because she was in high heels. Like, she was screaming at Bayley, "I'm in high heels. How am I supposed to wrestle?" And then Bayley was all like, "Oh, go back and get some shoes for you," and all that stuff. And the shoes looked really out of place to what she was wearing. So, with the direction to this, it kind of felt like they were building up Sasha, that she was once again going to take another loss. But surprisingly, WWE has Sasha Banks walk away with the win here. And then they set up a match next week for the Women's Tag Team Championships. So here are two scenarios I'm thinking that's going to happen. Either Bliss Cross retain and Sasha Banks is the one that eats the pinfall. Or B, which is the one I'm expecting, sorry, I should take that back. Option B is what I'm hoping to have happen, but I'm expecting option 1 to be the thing that WWE does. Option 1 is going to be Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross retaining clean. One of them pins Sasha clean. Nothing happens. And option B are the Iconics. The Iconics come down and they cause a DQ, and you set up a triple threat at Backlash for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, I know some people are going to complain. They're going to be all like, "Oh, why isn't Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's Championship at Backlash? She should be defending her SmackDown Women's Championship at Backlash. No, she shouldn't be competing for the Women's Tag Team Championships at Backlash." Well, I've got some news for you. Bayley has no one to defend against. That's why. Does it make any sense to just randomly pick someone to face Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship? No. It doesn't make sense. This was the same thing that happened to Becky Lynch. When Becky Lynch was done feuding with Sasha because she moved over to SmackDown, Becky had no one to face. What did they do with her? They had her feud with the Kabuki Warriors. They gave her Charlotte Flair as her partner, and they had them compete against the Kabuki Warriors. And then what happened after that? Becky started a feud with Asuka. Could it be possible that they do the same thing here? They could have Bayley feud with Alexa, or Nikki feud with Alexa, I don't know. But I'm saying Bayley has no one to face. So it makes sense for Bayley to not defend her title. I think it just makes sense. She's got no one to face. She's beaten everybody on the roster. So it makes sense to me. I'm surprised I'm surprised Sasha won, to be honest. I was expecting another loss in Sasha Banks' name. I was expecting Bayley's attempt to save Sasha would fail, and Alexa would still manage to hit the Twisted Bliss on Banks for the pinfall. But Banks won, which was a bit of a surprise, I'm not going to lie to you. Chad Gable's back. He was in the Battle Royal. And he had a bit of a rivalry with Cesaro. And Chad Gable defeats Cesaro. And with Chad Gable being back on television, I guess this confirms that he's not the hacker. And yeah, that's that. Guess that confirms he's not the hacker. Because he's on Smackdown. And finally, the main event. Oh, wait. Sorry, I should talk about this turd before I move on to the main event. We've now got the arrival of Matt Riddle coming to Smackdown. Please, get this turd off my TV. Please, get this goddamn turd away. Seriously, Matt Riddle, he's awful. I know people like him. I know people like him, and I don't care. I don't care if people like him. People have to respect my opinions too. I don't like Matt Riddle. He's boring. He's a turd. He's the original turd. He's the king of turds. If you know what I mean. He's not a bro. He's certainly not my bro. Let me guess, is he going to start calling Smackdown Bro Down Live? Or Bro Down? Is he going to start calling Smackdown Bro Down? But according to reports, he was originally supposed to be on Raw. According to reports, Matt Riddle was supposed to debut on Raw, but because of Brock Lesnar being on Raw, they had to move him to SmackDown. Really? Really? So you didn't want to debut him on Raw because of Brock Lesnar? So stupid. The fact that we got this turd on SmackDown really doesn't make me happy. I hope Vince McMahon buries this guy, and I hope Vince McMahon buries him. I hope Vince sees nothing in this dude, and he buries him. I don't want to see Matt Riddle. I don't care about Matt Riddle, and if you guys don't like it, then tough luck. And finally, we'll talk about the main event. The main event was Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan in the semi-finals. And Daniel Bryan would get the win, where Jeff Hardy would appear, and he would cost Sheamus the match. So I guess Jeff Hardy is going to be looking at Sheamus as the one who was behind the attack. So this is why I'm saying, Sheamus or King Corbin could have been the ones behind it, but I think because they are thinking it was Jeff Hardy, and because they're thinking Sheamus, well, Jeff Hardy thinks Sheamus was the one behind the attack, I think it will not be Sheamus. Because whenever they frame someone, or whenever they put the blame on someone, it's normally not them. So I think it's someone who we don't know. But anyway, guys, that is all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.